Cinderfucking-rella.
Oh my god, I can wee myself. I can wee myself, that's hilarious.
So how are we all bloody doing today? Right, I need to carry on from the last video just to explain a few things. I felt like I put a bit too much pressure on Ryan.
If you crash, I'll give you 20 quid. But just don't crash on purpose. I had that much confidence because of that other drop. You can do that easy.
I know, but I mental block in my head.
Nah, it's not there. Just fucking smack side your head, done.
It was the first time riding with him for a while, and I was trying to get him to do stuff outside his comfort zone. And in the end, after the session, I felt a little bit like an arsehole, to be honest. You know, I was kind of bugging him to do certain things, he didn't want to do it. And you know, sometimes I'm like that. You end up riding with me, I'll try and get you outside your comfort zone. If I know there's a limit to your riding, I'll leave it. But when I know there's potential in a rider, and I know there's certain things that they can do, I will push for it. I know full well at some point his confidence will come back. Those drops that he didn't do yesterday, he will nail without even thinking about it. And we'll get there eventually. See, there's a story behind my sort of way of looking at things. Once upon a time, talking about sort of 2009, I lost my confidence altogether. I took my worst crash ever on a BMX, and I just couldn't get back on the bike and doing the crazy things that I love doing. See what happened, I got my first opportunity of getting a picture in a magazine, and shit hit the fan, pretty much. Me and Brad Wakefield were going to get a picture for Ride magazine. The plan was to do a 360 down a certain set of stairs in Wales. It was like a 13 set of stairs. I jumped down these stairs loads of times before. I knew full well that I could 360 down them. That was a plan for the picture. And during warm-up, I didn't have a helmet on. During the warm-up, I was being an idiot, just doing this little ice pick down this mini rail. And then what ended up happening, I actually found the picture recently, that's what this story's come about. What ended up happening, I went to ice pick the rail, my peg actually went under the rail, came to a dead stop, and I literally went face first onto the concrete. I hit my head so hard, I went blind. I couldn't see anything. I stood up, I was walking around, blood coming out my nose, and I couldn't see anything. See, I was looking through my hard drive recently, and that is a picture I found. Look where my peg is. It's literally on the wrong part of the rail, so it came to a dead stop at the end. And like I say, I was an idiot, no helmet, smashed my own head in, and I was off work for about 3-4 weeks with head injuries. And that was the first ever time and only ever time I didn't sort of walk away from the crash. I ended up going in an ambulance to Bath, and then Brad Wakefield had to sort of drive me home and all that stuff. It was an absolute nightmare. And then from then on, he got hold of me again, still wanting to get this photo, so he kind of changed the spot. We ended up going to Taunton, trying to do a 360 down another set of stairs, and I just couldn't get the confidence to do it. Even though I put a helmet on, all that, I just couldn't do it. There was a mental barrier I just couldn't get past. And from then on, I was willing to sell the BMX and stop riding. But then I sort of started riding with other friends and stuff, the confidence built back up. And then the opportunity came round again. See, Nathan Beddoes, he was a photographer for Ride magazine at the time. He got hold of me and he said he wanted to do an article on the Hamilton skate park at the time because it was brand new, the concrete skate park. And I had a friend who was going to get a picture done for that article. And whilst he was down, he said, is there any decent street about? I've got this article going on in the magazine at the moment called Underdogs. Do you want to be a part of it? And all that was kind of underground riders at the time, street riders, go out with him, get a few pictures, make up this article, and boom, I had the opportunity again to get in the magazine. So it's kind of like redemption. So the crazy thing was, I had a little warm up at the skate park, hit the streets. Within literally an hour, I got all 3 pictures that I needed, bang, done. And it was the water gap, it was a 360 down the double set, and it was a hop over the ledge in the centre of Taunton. A lot of you have seen this spot. I've got all 3 clips coming up right now, because I actually filmed each clip as we took the pictures.
Fuck off.
I actually do want to ride that bank on the scaffold. Oh, Royce it.
Ah, right.
Last step.
Get fast next time.
Yes, on. Yeah, boy.
So yeah, that was a 360. That was the water gap, and that was doing the ledge hop in the middle of Taunton. That ledge hop is a lot sketchier than it looks. A lot of you have probably been to that spot because there's a passport office, and I think it's a wedding venue as well. And yeah, hopping that ledge is proper sketchy, but I got all 3 pictures banged out in an hour, and I was able to get my redemption. So from that crash a kind of year before, I was able to clear my head and keep on riding. And since then, it's always been the same. I take a crash, I chill out for a bit, I get back on it. And that's what I feel like Ryan's issue at the moment. He took that really bad crash at the Quantocks last year, and he's not sort of let himself off from it. That was a freak accident. We go back to that crash, right? It was a freak accident. I need to explain this because still people comment on that video thinking that he got something completely wrong. He didn't get anything wrong. What ended up happening, when he went to do the drop, his foot got hooked under a root.
Oh, fuck!
So as he went to launch off, the root was actually caught underneath his foot. So he couldn't do anything. You could have been the best rider in the world and it would have took you out. It's just one of those things. He took the line to the right, I took the line kind of in the middle and I just missed it. And as soon as he had that crash, I actually took that stump and that little root out. I ripped it out with my hands. And yeah, he ended up spending sort of like a week in hospital. He had internal injuries and all that. He's still got to have some form of operation on his shoulder at some point. But it definitely sort of downed his confidence. But it will come back for sure. There's a lot of you out there. There's a lot of riders out there probably watching this right now. You've taken a bad crash. You feel like your confidence is right down. At some point it will come back up. Just got to have patience. I mean, I pretty much waited a year. I never thought I was going to get the opportunity to get my picture in a magazine. I thought I lost it altogether. But that opportunity came back round again. I ended up getting a double spread. And that was that. Just a short little video. I just wanted to explain that because I know sometimes in my videos I try and push people past their limits to do certain things. That is the main reason why I do the sort of smash or pass series, try and get people outside their comfort zone. I'm always a guinea pig. I'll always do the jump first, then people will replicate it after. I'll always try to explain as best I can to do the actual gap or the drop or whatever. This actual double spread that I had in the magazine cracks me right up because nothing has changed. So I'm going to put the camera over this double spread as I'm looking at it. There's a picture of me doing a 360 down the double set, which doesn't exist anymore. That picture is awesome. Every picture he shot looks amazing. The picture of me doing the water gap came out amazing. The sequence of me going over the ledge hop looked really, really good. Back when I was riding brakeless and all that. No helmet on, just a bloody beanie. Idiot. But some of the questions, let me read out some of the questions. This will crack you up. So, I was 23 years old. It was 10 years ago now. Hometown, Bridgewater, Somerset, exactly the same. Occupation, manufacturing engineer, CNC machinist, exactly the same. Now this one will crack you up. Would you like to get hooked up, sponsored, or can't you be asked? That was the question. And my response was, I'm not really sponsorship material, my trick bag is empty, and all I do is land flat. Nothing's changed. My style sucks. My ability at tricks suck. I just like to send it, end of. That was a double spread that I ended up getting. First ever pictures in a magazine. And to think I was close to not actually getting that because my mind kind of went elsewhere. I lost all my confidence. And I battled through it and I still ride to this day 10 years on. And like I said, crashes will come. Injuries will come. It's just one of those things where it ends up being a mental block for a while. You overcome it, get through it. I can guarantee those 2 drops that Ryan didn't do in the last video, at some point he will do. I got to admit, he wasn't wearing knee pads, he wasn't wearing elbow pads, he wasn't wearing actual any pads apart from gloves and a helmet. So I think if you get those pads on, I'll do both those drops on a BMX. I'll talk him through it a little bit more. I'll get his confidence back up. And Ryan, you're in safe hands, son. So I just thought I'd explain that. It's just a little backstory. And sometimes you kind of need that little boost to get past that little spot in your life when you think, I've come to a bit of a dead end, don't know what to do. You just got to battle through it. Throughout my riding life, I've had a lot of little spots like that. Sometimes it's when I get a certain group of riders and they disappear. I get a little bit upset because I can't ride with them anymore. But I move on, I find other riders, we have more fun. The main reason why I do these videos is to stay connected with other riders and stuff, keep my confidence level up. And I just like to film everything I do these days. So hopefully this video kind of helps some people. Hopefully the clips that were in this video help some people. And I really hope I can get a video at some point very, very soon with Ryan overcoming that fear and getting back on it. And he's just got to understand, the crash he had was literally like worst case scenario. It was a freak accident. It was nothing to do with his riding abilities. He had done that same line 3 times that morning, over and over again. And it just came to the fact that he wanted to go a little bit faster and he took the wrong line and his foot got caught, bang, that was it. So yeah, that's my little story from the past. My little double spread in the magazine. I wasn't putting that out to sort of big myself up. I literally want this to go to Ryan, get his headspace clear, and we'll get back on it. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.